I mean, I know we're getting people out here just a little bit to check everything out officially, but what if this is just a sham? There is a considerable increase in pranks from the carnivals here.
Dies Judeorum incipit a solis, ucasu usque ad solis ucasum Dei sequitis.
Should you have taken that from his room?
It means the Hebrew day starts at dusk and ends at the following dusk.
Is that the most worthwhile fact you've picked up all night?
No, something more important was the word Ginsburg used.
Hello, Mr. Finnegan. We spoke on the phone earlier.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry to bother you at such an inconvenient hour, Mr. Black.
Mr. Finnegan.
Right, we just need to ask you a few questions and take a look around.
Okay.
Do you remember any tenants using that phone at about 1:04 this morning?
So this is a simple lodge. There are only two phones. There's the one in my office, and then there's the one right here for the use of the customers.
Did you see anyone use that phone this morning?
I wasn't finished. There's a man who used his phone at whatever time he said. 6. Yes, it's right here. Ginsburg. Griffius Ginsburg. Room 6, did you say? Yeah. But you won't find him up there.
And why?
He left with his friends. Or rather, his friends came and took him.
Well, while he's out, why don't you tell us everything you know about this Ginsburg?
Well, he checked in here close to 8 days ago. Shabby-looking man, dressed all in black. Something not great feeling-like looking about his face. Gave you a bad feeling. Anyways, I always set the price for shady-looking tenants a little higher. Tried to discourage them from staying here and test their desperation a little bit. Anyways, this Ginsburg, he paid the price right away. No questions asked or anything. He said he'd pay me daily because he didn't know how long he'd be here.
Did you see much of him in the past 8 days?
Hardly a glance every few days. Mostly stayed up in his room. Took his food up there too. You can ask anybody here in the lodge, and nobody can put a face to the name of Ginsburg if you ask them to. That was one of the reasons why I remember him using the phone, because it's just so odd seeing him in the lobby. That and his weird friends.
Well, what was so weird about his friends?
Well, considering carnival season, nothing much, but just not the sort of people you'd see every day.
Can you just explain what happened, please?
Well, Ginsburg was on the phone when a black car pulled up out in front, and I thought it was weird because the driver was wearing a mask, and I was surprised even more when two women got out back in harlequin outfits. Didn't take much to notice how drunk they were. And they were blowing horns and making all sorts of noise, and they came in here and they practically tackled Ginsburg. He seemed to notice them and recognize him, but he stayed on the phone, and then finally one of them just took the phone away from him and hung it up. They exchanged a few words in a different language, and then they took him upstairs. About 15 minutes later, they came back down, seemingly very joyous. Then Ginsburg was kind of stumbling around a little bit, about as drunk as the other two. How he got that bad in 15 minutes, don't ask me. And then they just got in the car and drove away. But not before one of them wrote that on my wall.
I don't know. Mr. Finnegan, we're gonna have to see his room immediately.
I didn't like him, so as you can see, I gave him the room with the construction.
It's blood. Listen to this. While other writers, such as Ernest Pallas, writing for the Martyr, speak out against the intolerable delays in this clandestine and frugal pogrom, which has taken 3 months and 3 lives and no result on behalf of the investigations. However, this newspaper rejects the terrible hypothesis of an anti-Semitic plot, even though many discerning intellects do not admit of any other solution to the triple mystery. The most illustrious gunman in the South, Red Sharlock, swore that in his district such crimes as these would never occur, and he accused Commissioner Hamilton of criminal negligence.
Oh, come now, that hurts.
You know what he said to me? He was joking and he asked me to let him know if he were in danger. I mean, I don't know how he'd be involved in this anyway, and how conceited to think that they'd go after him. He's gonna be in danger from me after this.
Huh. You're just mad that he hasn't asked you out to dinner yet.
Oh, shut up. You know, that's just really gross.
So the press thinks it's over too.
Eric, we've gone over this. We're not giving up because we haven't solved the case yet. It's just that we're not waiting around for the next piece of evidence because everything's going to happen in threes.
But the book in Ginsburg's room...
That was almost a month ago. Nothing has happened since then.
I just don't think that it's...
Look, okay, there were 3 murders, and they all happened on the 3rd of each month. The last message, the 3rd message, says that the last letter of the name had been spoken. I mean, what are we supposed to assume? There's gonna be a fourth or a fifth? I'm not saying there won't be, but it just doesn't seem like it.
I got this last night. I think you should read it. He makes sense.
Like we need another piece of insanity.
Commissioner Hamilton, although I am uninvolved and unaffected by these murders spanning in the past 3 months, I still feel it's my duty to share my conclusions with you. As you are aware, the murders have all happened in equal distances of time, 1 month between each and each on the 3rd. I believe there will not be another chapter to these murders on March 3rd due to the positioning of the previous 3. The alleyway next to the paint shop, the Liverpool house, and the Hotel de Nord are the perfect verticals of an equilateral and mystical triangle, which I have shown on the map.
Looks like he's right.
I have the utmost confidence that with this information, if you were to study other pieces of evidence, you would find it all points in the direction of the 3 murders. Once again, I wish to stress the fact that I am completely unrelated to this case. Only a man who thought it might help. It's signed Baruch Spinoza. Do we know a Baruch Spinoza?
I don't know if we do, but I don't. So did anything you say sound familiar?
Eric? Look, I really don't like what you're doing to yourself. Trinity called, and she was worried if you even made it home all right. You live 5 miles from work, and she was worried if you'd made it home. Do you realize how stupid that is? Do you realize how stupid you are? She said the case was over, and I don't know why you're doing this to yourself.
Case isn't over.
Look, Eric, I don't know what's happening to you. I just want to make sure that you're okay. We all do. And I just want to know what's going to make you forget this and move on and accept that you didn't catch that guy. And
Something's going to happen.
yeah, what if it doesn't? Eric, what if nothing happens tomorrow? What then? Are you going to move on? Are you going to actually be able to move on?
I don't have a choice, do I? If nothing happens, I'm wrong, and I have to let it go.
Please. Please just promise me that you'll let it go. I have put up with it for this long. And I just don't know what I could or...
I promise.
Thank you.
We're not going to talk about the case. We're going to have a nice dinner and a nice conversation and behave like normal people, right?
Yeah, except it's 5 in the morning. You worked all night.
Then we'll have a really late dinner. Come on, let's see what food we have.
Really, really late?
Let's see what we have. Oh, look. Ketchup. Tortillas. We're in luck. Blue cheese crumbles.
Oh, shut up. I didn't have time to go to the market yesterday. Here, I'll go right now. There's the 24-hour one down the block. Give me your keys, dude.
But I'm coming with you.
No. You should stay here. You should take a nap or a rest or something. Did you know that you're missing one of your playing cards?
I am.
You're missing the ace of diamonds. But I can buy you a new one, while I'm out.
Thanks.